I ne samo to. Kada smo vani, mi smo izloženi kosmičkom zračenju. Neki od tih zraka su neutralni, prolaze kroz nas i prolaze kroz planetu. Međutim, neke od njih su jako štetne za naš organizam. I ćelije našeg tijela se bore protiv njih. Mi znamo za takozvane Hartmanove mreže. Na sjecištima tih linija, istok, zapad, sjever, jug, su vrlo loša mjesta po naš organizam. Kirjeve mreže, Schneiderove mreže. Postoji podzemna prirodna radioaktivnost, također jako loša po nas. Postoje podzemne vode koje najčešće emitiraju negativnu energiju. Naše tijelo i naše ćelije se čitav život bore protiv tih vanjskih neprijatelja. Na ovom mjestu, 22 metra ispod zemlje, nema ni jednog od tih negativnih zračenja. Dakle, naše se ćelije mogu posvetiti svom osnovnom zadatku. One komuniciraju, prave dijagnozu stanja našeg organizma i počinju da liječe ona mjesta koja zahtijevaju tretman. Mi smo tokom ljeta 2011. godine između ostalog radili snimanje ljudske aure prije ulaska u tunele i nakon izlaska i boravka od 1,5 sata. Na primjerku od 70 posjetilaca, muških, ženskih, starih i mlađih, ustanovili smo da se u 80% slučajeva ljudska aura ovdje regenerira i to od 10 do 40%. Klaus Dona iz Austrije, umjetnički kustos i kolekcionar vrlo rijetkih artefakata koji se ne uklapaju u oficijelnu ljudsku povijest.
Since 1992, I did more than 28 cultural exhibitions from Austria to Japan, mainly to Japan, but also to Korea and the other way around. I brought some Japanese exhibitions to Vienna on cultural fields, and on my trips from Austria to Asia, long flights and also jet lag at the hotel, I was reading many books from Däniken, Robert Charroux and many others. And I was a big skeptic. I didn't believe that all these things can be reality, especially some strange artifacts. So I decided 1998, together with a friend of mine, we started to research all over the world museums which have some very strange artifacts. And finally we had a list of 356 pieces. And a friend of mine, a museum director, sent lending requests to his colleagues, and after a few months we had, out of 356 requests, we only got one piece. So it was just 1.5 years before the planned exhibition opening. So we started researching by ourselves, and finally in June 2001 we could open the exhibition Unsolved Mysteries in Vienna, and we could show more than 470 artifacts from all over the world. And we asked some scientists to do some check on them, and never ever we found out that one of the checked pieces was a fraud or a new made piece. So I had to change my mind from skeptica to be interested in, and I continued the last 10 years researching all over the world, and I found many other artifacts which science cannot really give an explanation. We have many approvals already on giants, but also on little people. I mean, for example, we found bones, or I got bones from a 7.6 meter giant in Ecuador. And we did some official checkings in Vienna through university professors and doctors, and they definitely recognized them as, for example, one heel bone or one os occipitale, which is a bone under the skull, which only human has. And even they did next day a comparison with original human bones, the same type, and they compared it, and they were very surprised because they looked completely identical. And so there must have existed people with this size. And in addition, we found, for example, in Ecuador, a so-called ceremonial axe, which is 70 centimeters, made out of granite. And we also did a comparison with a normal stone axe from old times. and we multiplied 5 times, and we arrived exactly again on 70 centimeters. In addition, there are historians, reports of historians from the 16th century from Ecuador. For example, one of them was Chiesa de Leon, and he was writing in one of his reports, today we found on the coast of Esmeraldas, on the Pacific coast of Ecuador, several human skeletons, and they were 5 times bigger than we. So a normal Spanish man at that time had about 150 centimeters. So if you multiply 5 times, you arrive exactly at the size of 7.5, 7.6 meters.
Osim oko 50 do 60 nalaza koji ukazuju na postojanje rase divovskih ljudi, ništa manju zagonetku ne predstavljaju niti krajnje neobične lubanje.
This is the big question. They must have been another kind of human race, because, for example, in Ica, that's a small town in Peru, very close to the famous Nazca lines, there is a small museum called Maria Reiche Museum, and there they have many very strange skulls, and I did a lot of photos, and we asked also some anthropologists and doctors to check those skulls, and they said these skulls are definitely not deformed, because the deformation of skulls was worldwide famous. We found, not myself, but archaeologists found outside Vienna long skulls from Asian people, but they were deformed. But these strange skulls in Ecuador, in Peru, they are not deformed, they are natural. So there would be the best chance to find out what kind of man or human would be doing a DNA analysis and age dating. We found other skulls in Bolivia, and these skulls are also bigger than our skulls, and the skeletons have the size of about 2.5, 2.6 meters. And the strange thing is that these skulls do not have any bone structure on top of the skull. And Homo sapiens, ourselves, we have the fontanella, and we have 3 bone plates, and the fontanella is very soft when we are babies, and it's closing when we get adult. So these humans, they do not have the 3 bone plates which we do have. So that must be also, again, another kind of human race. There are other skulls in Malta. They are long skulls, but going backwards. And they have and they are also bigger, so that means also these people must have been oversized, not like 1.80 meters, but at least 2.5 meters. And they have also another strange thing, they have only one bone line over the skull. That means they also do not have 3 bone plates like we do have. So again, I have to say, for me and also for specialists, these were not Homo sapiens sapiens, not Neanderthal, and also not Cro-Magnon man. If we talk about American United States, one man found in a closed gold mine many petrified human bones, and also he found a big stone, and inside, on the top of the stone, there was inside petrified a human skull, which was also bigger. The stone age in this area by geologists is dated around 60 to 70 million years. So then there would be a big question for the missing link, because until now the oldest man found is about between 2 and 3 million years. In Utah they found skeletons, different skeletons, all over 2.5, 2.6 meters. And one man found 2 mummies in a tunnel system. The man was 3 meters with red hair and a red beard and kind of armor, and the lady was 2.7 meters, and she had blonde hair and some copper crown decoration. The man who found these mummies, he found also 60 stone boxes, perfect made, and each of the box was filled with several copper plates with completely unknown writing.
Od Rusije do Mediterana tragova neobične prošlosti ne nedostaje.
I received, for example, photographs from northern Syria from a Russian scientific expedition. They did photographs of 3 footsteps, human footsteps, oversized. This human must have been at least 6 meters and over. And there are stories and legends in this area that one day very, very big men had lived. And they did special research on the 3 footsteps, trying to find out, are they artificial made or are they really footsteps? And they even brought some material of this stone with them to Russia. They did material analysis, and they found out that it was concrete. That means it was weak when really a big man or woman was stepping inside this weak concrete material.
I Mediteran je bogat ostacima zaboravljenih civilizacija, od divovskih građevina Turske, Krete, Malte, pa sve do Sardinije.
In Sardinia there are many, many mysteries. For example, there are between 6,000 and 8,000 stone, very big stone towers, up to 20 meters in size. Age dating by the official archaeologists is 1,600, 1,800 years. And there are also so-called giant tombs, very big rooms, stone building, with left side, right side next to the entrance like horns, so that the whole giant tombs are looking like taurus or bull heads. And there are stories going around that these were giant tombs. And in a small village I met very old gentlemen, a few of them, and they confirmed when they were young, before the Second World War, army was coming to this area and they brought out some oversized human skeletons between 3 and 3.5 meters, and they transported them away. So these people are still alive and they were young when they really saw it.
Između mnogih drevnih lokaliteta diljem zemaljske kugle postoje i neuobičajeni brojčani odnosi, koji su također dio misterija zaboravljenog dijela naše prošlosti.
The distance from North Pole to the sacred mountain of the Tibetans, the Mount Kailash, is exactly 6,666 kilometers. The distance from North Pole to the Great Pyramid in Gizeh, Egypt, is 6,666 kilometers, and the distance between the Mount Kailash and the big pyramid in Egypt is 4,999 kilometers. That's always, and you find that on many other places, famous places on Earth.
A što je sa sasvim malim ljudima?
An expedition group found a mummy in Chile, in the desert Atacama, that's the driest desert on Earth. They found a mummy with the size of 14 centimeters. And the owner brought it to Vienna, and we brought it to a university professor for anatomy, and he was checking this mummy over 3 hours, and after 3 hours he said, this is definitely not a fetus, because the bones were too concrete already. He found out that this mummy had 10 ribs instead of our human. We have 12 ribs. And also he said that he thinks that this mummy was a child in the age between 5 and 6 years, completely unknown human being.
Među najnovijim otkrićima nalaze se i doista neobične gravure.
This is still top secret because we are still researching. Research is going on. We did already research on 4 pieces. These pieces are old, very old, and altogether there are 3,000 pieces, and we cannot give any more information ahead before we did the complete research, meaning is filming and documenting and doing the final research on it. But it will be one of the most interesting findings in the last years. There are in-carving like wormholes, there are flying objects, so-called UFOs, and there are some human being, or they look like human being, but a little bit different, with completely space suits, even with helmets, where you can see that the glass in front of the face is closed. So very strange, very strange.
Ništa neobičnije od piramide s okom u Ekvadoru.